Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. We've been having some Wi-Fi problems here at the office, so hopefully this message will make it through to all of you today. I'm going to give just a little bit of time to wait for a few people to get on, and some people are joining already. So thank you all for joining us. Hi, Peggy. Um, what we're going to talk about today is everything. Oh, and there's our weekly regular, Yesenia. Hi, Yesenia. Thank you so much for the shout out you gave us for all the materials that we sent you. This is what I was worried about. I just got a message that said paused due to poor connection. So I hope that all of you all can hear me okay and I don't lose any of you today. But hi, Yesenia. Thank you so much for joining us every week. We really enjoy seeing you. What I want to talk about real quick today, I'm not going to take up a lot of your time as usual, but I want to talk to you about the makeaway mindset. So I know we talk about a lot of different things here every week. Hi, Afro. What's your name? I know it's not Afro, is it? Or if it is, tell me if I'm pronouncing it correctly because there's a Z on the end too. But thank you, Yesenia. Yesenia is all things teaching and coffee, and she's a longtime follower of ours, and she can testify to the rest of you all the things that we talk about every week and how helpful it is. And we just want to try to make the world a better place. And I always tell the team I work with that I don't want to add to the noise. So every week we come on, we want to give you some helpful tips. So this week we are going to talk about makeaway mindset and concrete steps you can take to follow your dreams. So I talk all the time about your dreams. We talk about writing books. We talk about my dream to get one of my book series to Broadway, which is the biggest dream I've ever had. And sometimes that can be a little overwhelming. And so I'm going to share with you my own steps that I take to make sure that I don't feel overwhelmed and give up on my dreams. But also, thanks for all the love you're sending. Also, we also talk, in addition to diverse books and getting shows to Broadway and things like that, we specialize in talking about dreams and positivity and taking care of your dreams and taking concrete steps to get there. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. 5 real quick steps that if you need motivation to do something different in your life, if you've always wanted to write a book or you've had a dream that other people have kind of, sometimes made you feel like that dream is silly or it's too big. I mean, that's definitely happened to me in my life where people have tried to get in my head and tell me my dreams were, nobody's ever really told me my dreams are silly, but people have said they're crazy or they're too big. So the first thing I want you to do, if you have a dream that you want to follow, is to spend time with your dream. That means you really have to give your dream time to evolve. Have you ever watched, like on Survivor, when they light a fire and they blow on the fire and they have to give it time to grow? They can't just start piling sticks on or it'll get smothered. So they have to like really nurture and care for the dream, and they have to spend time burning that early fire so that the dream or the passion of the fire will really last and ignite. That's a lot. That's very similar to what building a dream is like. You have to give your dream time. So spend time with your dream. That means spending time alone, and a lot of us are not real comfortable with that. I was a full-grown adult before I ever, well into adulthood, before I ever went to dinner on my own or anything like that. So you need to spend time alone, take a walk, take a drive, sit at a park with a notebook or a journal. You really need to spend time thinking about what your dream is so that you can nurture it and bring it to life. The second thing is to develop a positive circle, and everybody on here can relate to what I'm talking about here, because a lot of times we have a dream, and when we share it with someone, they can actually stomp on your flame and put it out with just a few words and make you feel silly for even thinking that you had a right to have that dream. So you want to really develop a positive circle. And there's all kinds of groups and clubs now. And thanks to social media, there are all kinds of groups you can join online. There's a writing community on Twitter. There are writers of Instagram. There are all kinds of Facebook groups where you can, there's, Women Empowering Women. There is SWBCI, which holds meetings not only online, but also in person, usually at bookstores, and that's all across the country. Hey, hello, I remember you from last time, and I don't think you ever DM'd us your address. Don't forget to do that. DM us your address, because remember, we were going to send you something from last week. But yeah, it's so important to develop a positive circle. Don't just think because you have this group of friends or family that that's it for you, that those are the people that are your support system. Hopefully your friends and family are great support. I hope that they are for you, but we all know that sometimes our friends and family aren't always the best support. And so sometimes you need to go outside of that and go find a group, especially a group that specializes in what your dream is. So if you want to write a book, find a group who, that's what they talk about, so that you can get positive support and ideas from them. A negative voice in your head will kill your dream, and you don't want that to happen. The third thing is that you need to really spend some time. Thanks for saying you love the conversation. I appreciate that. You need to really spend some time researching your dream and, reading about it. Maybe take a class. Sometimes you can take free classes at the library, but maybe sometimes you have to pay for a class. Nobody said dreams were easy, but dreams are why we're here. I really believe that dreams come to us for a reason. They belong to us, and they're for us to carry out. And so you have to become the expert in your dream. And if you become the expert in your dream, the more you know about what you're trying to do, the more confident you'll be about achieving it. And people won't be able to tell you anything, because you will have read what you needed to read. You'll have taken classes. You'll have taken notes. It'll be your journey, and you'll be the expert in your journey. So if somebody negative does try to come along and say something to you, you'll immediately have a comeback for that, and you'll have an automatic shield over your mental health, because people really won't be able to tell you anything. The fourth thing is you need to really develop a plan of what you need to do to get there, what you need to do to achieve this dream. You have to have a plan. It's kind of like taking a trip to go to someone's house in another state and not having a map. You might end up getting there, but you're going to really regret not having a map. So make sure that after you become the expert on your dream and you've learned a lot, which you'll continue to do along the way, make sure that you are developing your own plan for how to get there. This might be the phase where you actually end up getting a little discouraged too, because that plan might look so big and feel so overwhelming, you might feel like you can't do it. But you can do it. Remember that the dream is yours, and if it's yours and it belongs to you, then you can do it. But you'll need a plan so that it'll force you and encourage you and remind you to take action. If you don't take action, your dream is just a dream. It never becomes reality, and that's a wasted dream. We don't want to see that happen to any of us. Here's the good news, though. You don't have to climb the whole mountain at one time. You don't have to you don't have to put that whole plan into effect today or tomorrow or by the end of this week. You just need to move. So take a step. Take one step towards your journey, whether that's, calling someone or sending an email or checking out a website of someone who's doing something similar to what you want to do and finding out how they did it. But just encourage yourself to take one step every day. Remind yourself that this is for you, that this is something that you want to do. It's for your benefit. And so give yourself, this is like giving yourself 5 minutes a day. You promise yourself, I'm going to make one phone call or make one email or maybe even join one Instagram live today of someone who's talking positively and encouraging me to go and do what I know is on my heart that I need to do. Don't get discouraged. Those are my top 5 steps for following your dream. But don't get discouraged because it's not always easy. but it'll be worth it. Let me see what this comment said. The preacher said Sunday, what? Oh, I love that. I love that. What if what you're waiting for is waiting for you? In fact, I would kind of change that a little bit, not to overrule the preacher, because the preacher is right. But I would change that sentence to say, what you're waiting for is waiting for you. Because I'm a firm believer of whatever is mine is out there. Whatever I'm supposed to have or do is already out there. It's just for me to go and get it. And I wasn't going to get into this today, but I'll throw this out too, because this is also one of my favorite quotes. I read this book called You Are a Badass, and I love that book. For anybody who hasn't read it, you need to get it. It has a yellow cover, and it's an awesome book, and it's filled with encouraging thoughts to motivate you to find your passion, figure out why you're supposed to be here, and make that your journey and make that your life. It's a beautiful book, very well written and easy to read. And the reason I bring it up after Nashawn's comment about what the preacher said is because I have a dream of taking a show to Broadway, and it's a huge dream. It's a crazy dream, but not crazy in the way like it can't happen. Just crazy like, sometimes people dream about doing just extraordinary things. Like I'm sure when Neil Armstrong wanted to go to the moon, everybody thought that was crazy, right? But it happened. So it's crazy in that way. It's definitely something that can happen, but it's just not something that you hear about every day. And when I read that book, You Are a Badass, I immediately, and this is an example of what I mean about becoming an expert in your dream. When you read stuff and you really research and study what you're doing, then nobody can say anything to you because you feel confident. And when I read that book, You Are a Badass, the author talks specifically about money. And that was my biggest hurdle with the Broadway show, because you need millions to get to Broadway. And in this book, it said that whatever you need to do, whatever your dream is, and if you need money for your dream, which most dreams do require some kind of funding, not to be overwhelmed by that, because all of the money that you would ever need for your dream is out there in the world. It's already out there. I mean, think about the kind of wealth that is out there. And it's just for you to go and get it. So when you research and you study and you take classes and you network with people, you make that one call, you send that one email, you try to meet new people, you try to do new things, you'll see that it's true. It sounds like I'm doing a telemarketing commercial right now, but I'm not. It sounds very true. It is very true. I've seen it myself, that when you work hard and you put one step in front of the other, which is what I'm recommending as one of these steps in this plan. When you work hard and you put one step in front of the other, things just start to fall in place. And so I'm not worried about the money that I need for my dream, because I know that the money exists on this planet. I just need to work and go make it happen. So I'm going to keep sharing my journey with you all, so you can hear what's going on with this dream, and hopefully it'll encourage you to follow your dream. That's really all I want, is to encourage you all to do what you want to do with your life. But that's my 5 steps that I have to share with you today. Let's see. I love these discussions. You always remind me of a book idea I had about 4 years ago. And each time I want to push to start writing, but there's always a fear, like you've discussed. Yes, Yesenia, I can totally relate to that. And thanks for saying, I'm loving all these comments about thanks for the encouragement and thanks that it was needed. That's the whole reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like I said, I told the people I work with, I don't want to add more noise to the universe. I want to actually add something that's beneficial to the universe. Hi, Kara. Thank you for joining us. And so that is what I'm trying to do when I'm sharing these tips with you. I'm really sharing with you what I'm doing on my journey and how it's working for me, so that I can encourage you, and hopefully it'll work for you. But Yesenia, I want to say this about the book idea. Lots of people tell me that they have book ideas and they never write the book. And I just hope that you will carry around with you a notebook or a journal everywhere you go. Carry a notebook or a journal. You can even carry index cards or sticky notes. I'm looking at my desk because I have index cards and things like that. And sometimes I take the ideas I have and I put them up on the wall so I can look at them and I can live with them. And then sometimes I take, like, let's say I have an overall idea of what I want to do. I put that index card up there, and then as I generate ideas, I put index cards under that to help me like organize my thoughts and my thinking. So I would encourage you to try to do something like that too, but just start taking steps to writing down what it is that's on your heart to share with the world, because you can do it. I know you can. I've talked to you plenty on here, and I know that you have a great idea to share with the world. And if you ever want to, shoot me a DM and send me some of your ideas, and we can talk, and follow up that way. And hopefully I can be even more encouragement to you. But you should write that book. If there's a book that you want to write, you need to write that book. So anyway, that's all I have today. It was so nice catching up with all of you all. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you back here same time next week. Bye.